Doc dragged in. It's Mule. Howdy folks, Doc here. Bringing you a look at Mule. Quite possibly your last look at Mule as you know it. What? Y'all remember Mule, right? Mule is an 89 Lawn Boy LT12, or at least he used to be. Mule's been through a lot of changes in the few years that I've had him. It originally had a Briggs & Stratton 12-horse flathead, and then I swapped that out for a Briggs & Stratton 15-horse overhead valve. It originally had a Peerless 920 5-speed transaxle, and I broke that and replaced it with a 936 speed, and I broke that and I replaced it with another 936 speed, and I broke that and I replaced it with another 936 speed. And then I got my hands on an MST 206, did the Dock Locker 2.0 and scabbed that in. It's been through a bunch of wheel and tire changes and whatnot and all kinds of crap and stuff and junk. For the most part, it's remained fundamentally unchanged since the last time you saw it. Except for those front wheels. What's up with that? Well, as you guys know, I've been working the Suburban Commando project. And I peeled the front wheels off Mule here because I thought perhaps I might use those tires on Commando. So I needed something for Mule to sit on. Trailer tires. While I did that, that was one of the benefits of going to the 4-bolt 4-on-4 pattern that I did. Because it just completely opens the door up for bolting on whatever the heck you want. Anyways, what's up with Mule? Mule reassignment surgery. Yeah, Mule's damn near gonna get the full-on Caitlin. What? Okay, so here's the situation. Damn, see, it's cold. My ass is freezing. Okay, here's the situation with Mule. As you folks know, there's guys out there building mud mowers. Mud mowers are very popular, and there's guys, you know, building pullers, and there's guys building racers, and I've got a couple of racer projects in mothballs. We just broke out my son's, and I'm going to get back into mine shortly, hopefully. I've changed plans a little bit with that. But the situation is I like to build utility machines. I'm very happy with the way Mule here came out, and Mule 2 was very, very capable too. And, you know, I'm building up the Suburban Commando project that is going to be utility oriented. And I deep sixed the M2 project, as you know. So I'm looking at Mule here. Mule here is getting icy. Mule here is getting used less and less. And the reason that Mule here is getting used less and less is because M2 was very, very capable. Commando is at least that capable, if not more, with the dual range transaxle and some other plans that I've got, you know, in addition to it. So Mule here is getting used less and less, and I don't want Mule to sit there and rot getting not used. That makes me sad. So Mule here is going to undergo reassignment surgery. As a lot of you now know, you know, my life has had some changes in it, and I relocated and yada yada yada. And I've kind of made it my mission to go out, you know, starting in the spring, because it's pretty damn nipply out right now, starting in the spring and go out and meet some people and do some romping, hit some trails, hit some fire roads, even hit some mud. So I have decided that Mule here is going to get reassigned, repurposed, rebuilt as a rally machine. What is a rally machine? Well, I don't know if there's a technical definition, but it's a generally fun, off-road capable, trail capable to one degree or another, mud capable, speed capable, fun machine. It's basically just for bombing around on and having a good time. First off, let me apologize for the lighting situation in here. I haven't had a chance to pick up those larger fluorescent fixtures that I've been aiming for. And I'm obviously going to have to come up with some sort of blinds for the garage door here, and probably the main window too, so that the light doesn't wash out when I'm trying to shoot near them. But anyways, Mule reassignment surgery. So, what have I got in mind here? Well, for one, I'm going to strip it down. Take everything off it that, you know, has to go. Take a few things off it that don't have to go, just so I can clean things up. You know, maybe fix any welds that need fixing. I might even do a little bit of body work around this trunk area. Right now, most of the trunk is taken up with that great big 1000 crank amp automotive battery. That's going to go bye-byes. So we're going to do that. we're going to do the battery. And what's going on with the battery is I'm going to downsize it, right? Smaller, lighter. I don't need the big crank amps anymore. I don't need the big reserve anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to decide whether to do a winch delete. As a rally machine, something that I'm not, always going to be knee-deep in goo, I might spare myself the weight and the current draw and get rid of the winch. And if I'm goofing off with a bunch of guys and I do happen to get stuck, there's always another tractor to tug you out. So I might deep six the winch. I haven't decided yet. The battery boost system is going to be a delete. So that's going bye-byes. The air compressor is going to be a delete. That's going bye-byes. What else am I doing to this thing? Well, obviously the front tires. Guys, you're going to have to excuse my handwriting. My hands are still frozen from being outside. Possibly that bodywork we discussed. I'll remind you with the camera in a minute of what the trunk, the ass end looks like. I think we're going to possibly get rid of the ammo can and the jerry can bracket. So, accessory delete. Oh! Yeah, the engine. Get back to the engine in a minute. I'm going to change engines. I'll explain that in a second. Finally, we're going to do another rear end on this thing because this is something I've wanted to do, and it's going to be, completely bomb-proof. Now, that being said, ever since I did the rear end reinforcements on this thing quite some time ago, trying to remember... It was Mule's rear end rebuild or something like that. Ever since I did the frame reinforcements, I've punished the wee out of this. And I have not cracked a transaxle or damaged a transaxle since, which is really sweet. But right now, with the width of these tires spread out as far as I've got them, which is pretty damn far, I'm worried about my axle shaft. There's a big unsupported section, so I could support it, or I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do is a 700 and live axle. I've got two Peerless 700 sitting around. One of them spoken for in my racer project. The other one is sitting there collecting dust. And, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So what that's going to allow me to do is to run a live axle, do the Peerless 700, and that gives me a ton of gearing options because it's going to be a chain drive final, right? So pulleys into the 700, chain out, and between the pulley sizes and the sprocket sizes, I can play with my ratios to my heart's content. So, that right there, obviously, paint. That right there is the overall plan for Mule. Mule reassignment surgery, as it were. Because, said and done, it's going to be almost unrecognizable. Oh, wait a minute now. I got another one here. Brakes. The mechanical brake on this thing doesn't work too badly. It doesn't work too goodly either. When I first set it up, I was able, by pushing hard, to lock the rear end up at speed on certain surfaces. However, as time goes on, even with adjustment, I have to push really hard to accomplish that. And it probably, with the tire change to the bar tread and the whole shooting match, it makes it harder and harder. I'm not really thrilled with the brakes, so I do believe I'm going to go to juice brakes on this thing. I'll have a whole bunch of exposed axle shaft to do that with. So I think I'm going to go to juice brakes on this thing. Alright, I'm going to spring the hood open and just let you get a reminder look at what's going on there. And hell, we'll start with the back end too. So just a reminder for, those of you that, haven't looked in a while. I took the factory fenders and I cut them off right at that weld line there. And then I cut up some utility trailer fenders and I extended them around. And then I built a carry box at a 16 gauge steel sheet. And the carry box was great for carrying stuff until I decided to go to that big ridiculous battery, which you can't see because it's covered in snow. But this is a 1000 crank amp car battery under all this nasty white Canadian crap here. Can't hardly see anything. And it takes up a pretty good sized chunk of the box. In fact, with the battery terminals in there, it's kind of not safe to really carry anything in the box, especially metallic. So that box has just been basically relegated to my battery box. So I'm probably going to do some rearranging back there, Not sure yet. Who knows? Alright, engine goodness. All the hood pins out. I think I still have the lights unplugged from last time. Yeah, I do. Alright, away with the hood. Alright, so here you've got your Kohler Magnum 18 horsepower opposed twin. This is a good engine. It's been running pretty well. I did notice at one point or another a bit of a miss on cylinder number 2, so I'm going to have to check the plug, check the wiring, figure out what's going on there. You know, it didn't seem too serious. Not overly concerned about it at the moment, because this engine is going to come out. So I'll probably have a look at that, and I might even offer this thing up for sale when I'm done. We'll see, not sure. Obviously the exhausts are going to come off with the engine. When the new engine goes on, I'm going to have to do an exhaust thing again. I'm not sure what I'm going to do again. It might even be the same cans, because to be honest with you, I love the look and I love the sound. Sound a little bit different with the new engine. They'd get new paint, yeah. But I love the look and I love the sound, so I'm probably going to stick with them. Now, forgetting for a moment that my workbench is a total disaster, that there is what's going in. Okay. Kind of holding the camera upside down over the workbench, but there you have it, folks. Kohler 18.5 horse Command Series V-Twin. That's going in Mule. Well, I've rolled Mule out of the shop to make room for Commando while I'm doing some more tinkering and tweaking in there. And let's fire her up for what could be one last time in her current configuration. Well, say goodbye to Mule as you know him. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, watching, and subscribing to Sprocket's Garage on YouTube. And until next time, take care of yourself.